Hi guys. Okay, so this review is for this bench. It is a shoe rack. It is a bamboo shoe rack. I don't remember the brand, but obviously you'll see it in the video for the review. Setup. Honest to God, my best tip for you is don't write this guy off until you finish assembling it. That is my number one tip. Because when I was originally building this thing wobbled like you wouldn't believe. And I almost threw in the towel and I was going to return it. But I already built half of it and I spent over an hour, and I'll tell you why, so you guys don't have to waste all that time. But once I put the bottom piece on, everything was fine. Originally it wobbled like rocking. One side was totally not leveled. So for this guy here, I think the biggest tip I can tell you on the install, and I have very little space. That's the reason I have this here. The first thing I'm going to say is, unless you're watching this video before you assemble, the smooth flush edge, the smooth edge, not the detailed edge, goes on the inside. Because I thought this would go flush with the edge. So I originally installed it with the flat side facing out. I don't know if it makes any difference. You guys are welcome to try it, but I would say do it this way just because it works. And that is the way the photo shows you on the listing. I spent an hour building this thing because what happened was I built this all four. And then when I tried to put this in, the holes would work on one end, but it wouldn't work on this end. And it wouldn't fit on those three ends. So I took it apart and I flipped it around and I did it, and it also didn't work. So then I got frustrated and I put it back because I still felt like this way was the best way because it looked nicer, but it wasn't working. So I finally went online to the Amazon listing to look at it, and it does show it with the smooth side in. So I knew that was correct. So I went ahead and did it again. But these things were not aligning. So what I ended up doing was I put the screw in through here, and I stopped right here. And I don't know what these things are called, but you put them in, and as you screw it, this thing will rise itself. It will rise up from the hole, and then I guess that gives it a little bit more stability. But what I would recommend is you put all the pegs in the outer holes on all four sides, and just make it so the tip just sticks out. Put your little silver thingies inside the holes. Make sure all four of them fit in the holes. Push your screw all the way in and screw it in. But when you're screwing them in, go slow. I used an electric drill, which is fine, but you may need a screwdriver to keep this guy straight. There's like a notch inside. You need to keep that straight in order for the screws to go in. But it's actually fairly easy to do. This included tools actually work better than the electric. It's just I was in a hurry. I don't want to waste too much time doing this. I spent a lot of time building in the last couple days. I just want to get my craft room set up. So once you get those four in, I would not screw them in 100% tight. That's my second tip to you guys. Don't screw them in all the way. Continue doing your other two holes, and then once you get the holes in and you screwed in about 90%, then go ahead and tighten them. And the funny thing is, once you do this layer, this thing rocks like you wouldn't believe. I sat on it just to see if I was willing to finish building it, and I wasn't willing to build it. It was so bad. Like the rocking was like a difference of like a centimeter. It was really bad. I don't know why, but I would have to take all of this apart to put it back in the box. And I really still needed a chair. I don't have a lot of space, so I needed something that can tuck under and something nice to sit on, and this one looked like a good fit. So I continued building it. I put the last one in, and the funny thing is, for whatever reason, once you finish building, it doesn't rock anymore. I don't know where that came from. Okay, I don't know why that's here. I will need to figure that out. I think that's an extra one. But anyway, it doesn't rock. It rocks a little bit, but it rocked really, really bad. I'm probably going to put one of those furniture pads underneath it. But I wanted something nice and wider than a typical chair because I don't have enough room here for a computer chair to back up. I'd have to get into the chair sideways. So that's why I ended up with a bench. And I'll do a video on the table. These two things do not match the colors. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not the lighting. It really doesn't match. Maybe this part matches. But I wasn't really picky on the matching. I just really wanted a chair. And this one fits under this table. So if you're really tight on space, this thing fits flush inside. And that is what I wanted it for. And there's enough room for a garbage can too. I just put the garbage can there. I'll do another review on the shelves because the shelves are really good. If you have no space, like if for me, I wanted a craft area. I want to do scrapbooking. And so if you guys want to buy like this kind of setup, this is probably the cheapest setup. Those things are about $50. These guys are $50 each. And they come with 3 of these panels. I converted it all to here because I had an air conditioning that I had nowhere to put. And I'll do a video on this, but I cheated. I put the last hole on the top so that I had the extra inch that I needed so that the aircon can fit inside and be able to slide out. And there's enough room here if I move the table slightly to slide it out. So anyway, I needed a lot of stuff to be able to put in shelving and I didn't have a lot of space. This space here is 3 feet exactly. And this table's 4 feet. So I had about 4.5 feet by 3 feet is the true area that I had to work with. I don't close this door. So thinking out of the box, I ended up getting a shelf and it looks kind of nice actually. I just have storage in there. So yeah, I'll do another video for the table and the racks.